What up, what up, baby? How you doing? It's your boy, the ATX Sooner, back with another video, and welcome to Operation Offseason episode Deuce. Thank y'all for rocking with me, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. We're going to keep this going throughout the offseason. This week has been very, very low. So technically what we're going to do is we're going to go over some topics that, that have already been covered, but we'll take a little deeper dive into it. Maybe just spend a little, give it a little more attention each little topic here, okay? So on today's episode, we're going to talk about Nick Saban leaving. What does that mean for Oklahoma? Our current offensive line that we have that, we trust Bill Bedenbaugh so much, but do we trust him? Casey Thompson, welcome home. We'll go into a little bit more on that, my opinions on that. And then Mr. Defensive Coordinator himself, Zach Alley, welcome home. So let's get into it, man. Y'all make sure, I don't know if I said it already, y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. And if y'all want to, do it. If you don't, I don't care. It is what it is. Hell, dislike it if you don't like it. But anyways, let's get into the first topic, man. So, Nick Saban, Saint Nick, the GOAT, the one and only. He will not be duplicated. This cannot be replicated. I don't know, that sound right. Did I say it right? Did I say it wrong? I don't know. It felt right. But the man is gone. He finally retired. He finally got on his golden saddle and rode the horse out of here. And a lot of people are saying it's not health related, which, thank the Lord that it's not health related. We don't wish that on anybody. Sometimes when it's time, it's time. A lot of people thought that he would go out on top. Nobody expected him to leave, taking the L in the playoffs like he did. But I mean, hell, the man has been here since 2007. I think he's been at Alabama. He's been dominating ever since, damn near. So the dude has nothing else to prove, man. He has no. If he were to win another national championship, think about what that would do to his reputation. Nothing. He literally has nothing to gain, nothing to lose from staying another year. Even if he were to win another year, like he's already the GOAT. It's already stamped. It's already solidified. It is what it is. But let's talk about what this means for Oklahoma, man. And it couldn't have happened at a better time. Thank you, Saint Nick. Christmas has come early for us in 2024, and you have provided us with a great Christmas gift because we don't have to worry about you no more. So obviously we play Alabama at home, this game towards the end of the year. What I think is like the second to last game of the year, I think, something like that. I don't know. Either way, this is gonna, with Saint Nick there, that's whenever I'm like, man, this is when Bama is gonna be Bama. We don't get the luxury that UT has had the last 2 years where, you get them at home at week 2 and lose by 1 point. Then you get pushed up looking real good, whatnot. And then the next year just to go to Alabama, to go into Tuscaloosa and take the dub in week 2 when they still trying to figure everything out. We didn't have that luxury, or we're not going to have that luxury, let's put it this way. But who knows? You never know, because since Nick Saban's not there, there's going to be a lot of changes, okay? And hopefully, we'll see a lot of Alabama transfers. Hopefully, we'll see a lot of crimson and white players coming to the crimson and cream team. And, therefore making us better, pushing us up. And time will tell. We'll see. But at the end of the day, man, it does suck that we're not going to be able to see Nick Saban at the Palace. That does suck. You do want to see that is, for ratings wise, or just for, history, just to be able to, say, we beat Alabama and St. Nick at home. It would have felt good. But beating Alabama this year coming up is not going to be the same. It's not going to feel the same, So Does that mean that Alabama's falling off? Does that mean that Alabama's not going to be as good as they've always been? No, that don't mean that. They got the Washington head coach. I mean, he flipped that program around in what, 2 years or something like that? But there's a huge difference between flipping a Washington that has no expectations at all versus maintaining the high standards over there in Alabama. Now, I'm not saying he's gonna fail. I'm not saying that he's gonna succeed. We never know at the end of the day. This is another one of those time will tell things, but apparently he doesn't have too much of a history when it comes to recruiting these big dogs down here in the South. Hopefully that does do a little something against them. Hopefully that pushes them down a little more. Again, a lot of these players, they didn't want to play for Alabama. They wanted to play for Nick Saban. We'll see what that trickle effect comes, in May, I believe, in the summer, whenever the transfer portal opens back up. We'll see. But it's gonna be interesting. We always talk about how boring the offseason can get, and hey, this last previous week is proof of how boring the offseason can get. But whenever you got, you're gonna have these little things like people retiring or people hitting the transfer portal here and there. Even though we're not gonna get that for a little while, that makes it just like okay, gives us a little something to talk about. So that's why we're jumping off this episode with Nick Saban, man, because college football lost, and I'm not. This sounds crazy. It sounds like he's dead. He's not freaking dead. He's living it up. He's living his dreams. But college football did lose a dog, man. Like, obviously he's still going to be participating in Alabama facilities and everything like that, giving his 2 cents and whatnot. He's still going to be around, but it ain't gonna be the same, man. It's gonna be it's gonna feel different seeing that Alabama team without Nick Saban on the sideline. That's gonna be so different, man. But hey, good for us, right? Good for us. Round of applause. Like I said, Nick Saban, you spared us. Thank you for sparing us. Because we gonna take all the help we can get. We gonna take all the help we can get, and we gonna sit back and watch how this Alabama team develops. See if they fall down, go straight downhill, start tanking, or we're gonna see if they continue to be the Alabama team that we've known, and I wouldn't say loved, but known and have hated for the last however many years Nick Saban been there, dominating college sports. But that's all I got for Nick Saban, man. Hey, enjoy your time, the rest of your life. Don't get too involved in this football stuff, Yeah, it might help Alabama, but we don't need all that, okay? Here at Oklahoma, we don't need you to be all in the head coach's ear, giving him all the little gems that you've picked up over the past however many years to make them better. Let them tank, Nick, if you could, please just let them slide downhill a little bit, you know what I'm saying? That way Oklahoma can go ahead and get that boost up that we need, especially going into the SEC. With no offensive linemen, no returning offensive linemen. But let's get into that now. Our current offensive linemen now. I apologize if I might miss a lot of people. I'm technically just going over the new guys, the people who transferred in and the people who signed, So these are kind of just the new guys. I know we still have a returning group coming, so nothing against you guys at all when I'm not saying your names here. And then again, I'm going to butcher a lot of names here, so y'all understand that. We know that I'm horrible with names, so no disrespect at all when it comes to that either. But I wanted to go a little bit more into Bill Bedenbaugh. Like, as everybody knows, I am a huge champion for Bill Bedenbaugh. I feel like Bill Bedenbaugh is the best offensive line coach in the nation. When we talk about Nick Saban being the GOAT, overall, I feel like when it comes to that offensive line, I feel like you got to put Bill Bedenbaugh up there in that GOAT conversation. That's how I feel personally. And but I also noticed that the way I feel doesn't reflect on the way I've been talking with you guys. Like whenever we talk about the O line, how we don't, Caden Green left, we don't have a returning starter coming into next year. Oh, how bad we need all the help we can get. We can, the offensive line is not good. Going into the SEC, we need more than what we have. That's not giving Bill Beatonbow his props, and that's not, excuse me, that's not trusting the man. You know, when I look at this list of people, and they're all 3-4 stars, which are most of the majority of the people that he's taken to the league are 3-4 star players. I look at this list. There's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got 8 players coming in. Now I get it. It takes 5 of them to be, starters or whatnot. But this is not including the people that are still here. But we got eight of these players coming in. 2 of them are 4 stars. The other 6 are 3 stars. I would say that that's enough to, and don't get me wrong, we need the depth. So we still need more. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is all we need. But when we panic, over the year, well, not over the year, but ever since Caden Green left, and when we panicked the way we did, talking about how bad the O-line is going to be next year, I don't think that's something we should do. I think we need to kind of dial it down a little bit, turn it down, and trust Bill Beatonbow to do what Bill Beatonbow does, which is get players into the league and get them paid. And these NFL linemen, they don't want to. You're not gonna be there if you're not a dog. Trust me, you're not gonna make it there if you haven't proven yourself on that college field. So the fact that these players are getting drafted means so much. And then not only are they getting drafted, they're producing once they hit that next level. So let's go into it, man. Let's start with the transfers, man. So we got, 4-star offensive tackle. I heard that he was probably going to move to the guard position. He might be a little better out there. Inside. I heard he didn't really have the footwork for that tackle position. But Michael Tarquin, welcome, man. 4-star offensive tackle, at least from, I don't remember where I got these ratings from. That might have been coming out of high school. That might be what he's currently listed as right now in the transfer portal. But either way, I'm going to just give the list, and then we'll talk about it going forward, okay? So like I said, 4-star offensive tackle who might be a guard next year, Michael Tarquin. 3-star offensive guard, Fabichi Nwawu. I'm sorry. It kind of felt right. That felt right. That sound good? I don't know. Y'all kill me in the comments if it's wrong. Offensive tackle, Spencer Brown, 3-star. Yeah, when we talk about the transfer portal, you want to get more people than just 3 people. They're gonna come. I feel like over the summer we might get about 3 more players. I can see us getting in the transfer portal when it comes to this offensive line group. And honestly, I really hope that BV opens up that checkbook a little more and gives Bill Beatonbow the financial backing that he can go along with that experience that he already has of putting people in the league. If we can get that taken care of, this offensive line issue, quote unquote, will never be a thing anymore. I feel like the offensive linemen want to play for Bill Beatonbow. It's just I don't think they're getting the funds. They're not getting the financial support that they can go elsewhere and get. And don't get me wrong, I'm always, if you're here for the money, then leave. We don't want you here. I get it. I understand that. I still feel that way. But you don't have to give the man I'm pretty sure a lot of these, I'm just wondering, is it a comparable, is the price comparable? Because obviously if I'm Oklahoma and I'm offering you $30,000 to play for us for the year, and you have a team out, let's just say Missouri, they're like, hey, $75,000, You can play for us this year. Just sign the paper. Now, I'm not necessarily looking at if I'm an offensive lineman and with that proposition put in front of me, I'm not looking at Oklahoma like, I don't want to go there because I don't want to be developed. I'm looking at Oklahoma like, damn, y'all really lowballing me for real. It's kind of like a disrespect type of deal. You feel me? Like I can go get 75K or out here, and I'm just throwing these numbers out, y'all. Obviously, I don't know anything. This just a scenario I'm putting out there. I can get 75K out here without even playing a snap, coming straight out of high school, and y'all gonna offer me 30K? If that's the situation, if that is the scenario, then, and I'm not saying it is, but if it is the scenario, Oklahoma got to step the game up when it comes to, dishing out the funds to at least make it. If somebody's out being offered 75K, offer them 60. If they don't take the 60 with the development, then hey, you ain't for us. You ain't here for us. And again, this is what could be happening. I don't know, but it just seems like we're missing out on a lot of offensive linemen that we're like we're right there to get. Like it's between us and the next school, and they always go to the next school for some reason. I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes, but for some reason they always choose the next school. But anyways, that's just my little 2 cents, and obviously I'm not contributing to any funds. I'm broke my damn self. So who am I to spend somebody else's money or tell somebody how to spend their money? This is just my opinion. This is what I'm going. This is just, free flowing off the top of the dome, going through the little handy dandy notebook and giving my opinion out there. So y'all let me know. Do y'all agree with that? Do y'all think that Oklahoma should open up that budget a little more when it comes to these offensive linemen? Or do you think we're good? Do you think that, there's this next list of signees that I'm about to read off is proof that, hey, we're actually doing what we need to do. We don't have to worry about too much. Because if you look at the people who signed, we got 4-star interior offensive lineman Eugene Brooks, 3-star interior offensive lineman Eddie Pierre Lewis, 3-star interior offensive lineman Josh Asosa, 3-star offensive tackle Daniel Akinkumi, 3-star offensive tackle Isaiah Autry. Like, these are very talented players coming in. And that's where you can look at the other side of the fence and be like, we are doing something right. And if you trust Bill Beatonbow to do Bill Beatonbow things, then you can trust that he will develop these players that I just listed to become the next NFL stars going forward. Now, the biggest problem is, we've gotten the offensive linemen, but they just haven't worked out. They're leaving, they're transferring out because they're not. There's something that they're not getting. That could be a Bill Beatonbow issue. We don't know. I don't know, at least. But I still believe in this man. I believe that we might be. Well, that's 5 signees. I feel like we might go 5 for 5 with this. Like, I could see each one of these players being dogs going into the SEC and forward. Like, I really, but then again, that's just my trust in Bill Beatonbow. And when I'm talking about the offensive linemen going forward, I need to talk like I have that trust in Bill Beatonbow, which I do have. So, Bill, from the ATX Junior personally, I apologize for I never talk down on you. Trust me, that ain't what I ain't sorry for nothing like that. I've never talked down on you, but the lack of faith when it comes to, you bringing guys in and I'm still saying we ain't good enough. When in reality, you bringing the guys in, you just got to develop them, and they could be good enough. I feel like, and we can't tell until they get on the field. We can't tell until game 1 next year. And I believe in you. I believe in you. I feel like we're going to be good going into the SEC with that offensive lineman. I do feel like we need more depth still going into next year. But I feel like that's going to get taken care of in the transfer portal whenever it opens back up. So, don't get me wrong. I don't think there's anything we should hold our head on. I don't think there's anything we should worry about when it comes to the offensive line. I feel like that is the only weak point of our team, period. I mean, obviously Jackson Arnold's young. We got a lot of people that don't believe in Jackson Arnold just because of the turnovers that he put on the field in a bowl game. I be questioning a lot of people's football IQ, thinking that they expect everybody to be Caleb Williams when you've never seen Caleb Williams before Caleb Williams. Let's put it that all of these quarterbacks, they develop, they get better and better and better to until they become the person that gets drafted. Like, you gotta give him time, man. Like, you gotta let him get some experience under his belt. So, anyways, that's going off topic. I believe that this offensive line is going to be good. We're going to solidify it, and we ain't going to have nothing to worry about going into the SEC, because once we can show that this offense can move the ball year out, week 1 through week 12, whatever, however many weeks it is, once we prove that, these offensive linemen are going to be looking at Oklahoma just like they looked at Alabama, just like they look at Georgia, and they're going to be like, we need to be there. Hell, you can even say UT doing it right, but only difference is they're more financial versus relational. So we could take a look into their book and see what they're doing. Hey, they are paying these players to play, and they probably are paying them a good amount. Maybe we should kind of, help Bill Bedenbaugh out when it comes to getting these highly talented offensive linemen coming out of the transfer portal or even high school. I mean, yeah. Don't get me wrong. He's shown that he can develop the 3 stars and the 4 stars, but it'd be nice to see a 5-star on that list. You feel me? It would be nice, and I believe that that's in our future. I just think that there's some things that we might need to revisit, some things that we might need to reevaluate. I don't know, just philosophies that might need to be tweaked a little bit. Not changed. I don't think that the whole it's relational versus transactional, I don't think that needs to be changed at all. But it should maybe tweak it just a little bit. Maybe make it a little more financial. Make it a little more transactional while keeping it relational. So that's what I got on our offensive line. If you let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with in the comments below. And yeah, let's get into good old Casey Thompson, man. So Casey Thompson, Mr. UT himself, he did he beat us? I don't know if he ever beat us or not, but regardless, he went to UT, then he went to Florida Atlantic. He was a 6-year senior last year, but he got hurt, so I think he, that gave him another year to where he can end his career where he should have started his career the whole time. Good old Oklahoma, man. I will say, a lot of people in Austin down here, and this is the good thing about being in Austin. It's a gift and a curse, because when you're from here, you hear more about the Casey Thompsons. You hear more about the wide receiver who transferred from Texas to Oklahoma too. Oh, no disrespect, brother. No disrespect. But you hear a lot about these players, you can tell, what to expect kind of going forward. And obviously, whenever we play against them all the time, we know what to expect from Casey Thompson. But a lot of these Oklahoma fans down here, at least, I'm not going to say in general, I'm just going to say down here in Austin, Texas, they look at this Casey Thompson move as, good, we got a starting quarterback. We good now. Now Jackson Arnold can sit another year and learn behind Casey Thompson. And that is the dumbest thing that I've been hearing lately. It makes no sense at all. Why if that was the case, why not just keep DG? If that was the move that Oklahoma was if Oklahoma brought Casey Thompson here to start over Jackson Arnold, why would we not just keep DG? Sometimes people gotta think. It's right in front of your face. I mean, it's right there. You honestly don't have to think. You just gotta open up your damn eyes and see what it is. People are holding this game, this bowl game against a good Arizona team that I say is the second best team Oklahoma played all year last year, outside of Texas. Texas was the best team and we beat them. So there's no question about Texas being the best team that we played last year. But either way, I would say this Arizona team is the second best team that we played all year last year. And Jackson Arnold went off. Yeah, he had the turnovers. He had the rookie mistakes. He was running for his life here and there with a makeshift offensive line that was put together like paper mache, which they didn't do as bad as I say they did. Don't get me wrong. They didn't do terrible, but it's not what we expect from our offensive line. We expect more all the time, obviously. But we're holding Jackson Arnold up here to this standard because we've been so spoiled with quarterback play, and don't get me wrong, I hold him to that level. I feel like Jackson Arnold is going to be the next Heisman Trophy winning quarterback at Oklahoma. But don't ever start a conversation with me. Don't ever even bring up the fact that Casey Thompson might be starting over Jackson Arnold next year. Because at that point, I don't even want to talk to you about football. At that point, it's just you're just talking. You're just saying you just want to hear your voice. At that point, that's how I look at that. It makes no sense why we would have an injury-prone quarterback who is, don't get me wrong, Casey Thompson is a very, very good quarterback, and I'm not gonna sit here and dog him out. He's not a dog. I'm not dogging him out, but I mean, he couldn't beat out what's the dude, Sam Ellinger? Like, if you, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I feel like there might have been some biases in that quarterback room when it came to Sam Ellinger and Casey Thompson, or even whenever their current quarterback who's coming back, Quinn Ewers. I feel like Casey Thompson is low key better than Quinn. Don't get me wrong, but you're not gonna come into Oklahoma and you're not going to be a starting quarterback here. You are here to help develop Jackson Arnold when there may be times where he gets flustered. You have the experience to where you can sit him down and guide him. You are the veteran quarterback in this locker room. But the best thing about having a Casey Thompson in your holster is if for some reason he does have to play, not much of a drop off from a first year starter, let's put it this way, to a end of career quarterback, And this ain't dogging. I'm not dogging Casey Thompson at all. I'm just being real. We're not comparing Casey Thompson to Jackson Arnold. Only thing that I will say is Jackson Arnold next year, which will be his first starting season as a quarterback from game one to the last game of the year, there probably won't be too much of a drop-off if Jackson Arnold does get hurt. Because now you're taking somebody who is a first-time starter, playing his first collegiate year in the SEC. You're taking that person and replacing him with somebody who has 7 years of experience and knows the flow of the game, knows the speed of the game, and I can't say the same about this next year, well, not next year, but 2025, when Jackson Arnold is a junior going into his, and really going crazy for real. Then don't get me wrong, Casey Thompson doesn't have that much eligibility to be here in 2025. But even if he were here, that's when you could say, okay, if Jackson Arnold gets off, or if he gets hurt, then that drop off from Casey Thompson is going to be kind of dramatic. Because I expect Jackson Arnold to be 3 times the player Casey Thompson ever has been, And this may sound crazy. This may sound like disrespectful. I promise you I'm not trying to sound disrespectful. I'm just being real, being honest, mano y mano with the person on the other side of the screen. We know what to expect with Casey Thompson. He's going to be a good backup for Jackson Arnold. And it is what it is. There's nobody, you can't get mad at that. I feel like that should be encouraging to us anyways, because we have a good backup. We have a backup that, we can kind of depend on for real if he can stay healthy. So, that's all I got on Casey Thompson. Y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all think I'm tweaking? Do y'all think y'all agree with me? Whatever, I mean, I don't think that, I don't see why, there would be too much disagreeing going on when it comes to that. But hey, if I'm tweaking, y'all let me know in the comments below. So let's talk about the last topic of the day, and that is our new official defensive coordinator, Zach Alley. So let's talk about Zach Alley, okay? Co-defensive coordinator. I don't know who the other is Brent Venables, the other defensive coordinator. I don't know. I didn't do my research, which I should have. But Jacksonville State, he was there prior to this. Before that, I don't know where he was, but I know he went to Clemson. He worked with Brent Venables while he was at Clemson, so they have a history. Man, the guy is my age. He's my age. I'm not 30 yet. I'm turning 30 next month. The man is my age. And he is a defensive coordinator for the Oklahoma Sooners. A premier blue blood, top notch college. Period. I mean, it makes you look back at life and be like, where the hell did I go wrong? Where the hell did I go wrong in life, man? Because I could be a defensive coordinator somewhere. I could be an offensive coordinator somewhere. I could be, who knows? We had the same 24 hours. We had the same 29 years. Different opportunities, obviously. Everybody has different opportunities in life. But, man, it's just crazy to think that, man, this defensive coordinator who's calling the plays for Oklahoma is my age. And I promise you, I couldn't call a play to save my life if I was being looked at as a coaching job. And plus, I don't have the patience to just I would be a mean coach. I would be one of the old school coaches like the people that coached me, and I would get canceled. I would be set. I'd be on the hot seat. First practice, I'll be on the hot seat. So, shout out to Zach Alley, man. You have taken advantage of every opportunity that has been placed in front of you in life. Clearly, just to be this far, just to have this job title at a prestigious university like Oklahoma. Round of applause, man. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the community. Again, like I say, man, we are a very passionate fan base. You might have thought Clemson was bad. Clemson can't hold they can't put their foot in our shoes. Our shoe size is too big for Clemson when it comes to our fan base. We are going to love you. We are going to hate you. If you do something right, we are going to praise you. If you do something wrong, we are going to call for your job. It is what it is at Oklahoma. That's what it is. You can have one bad week, and then everybody from that point forward, their mind is made up of who you are as a head coach or as a defensive coordinator. I'm sorry. So be prepared for that. I know you're young, just like me. So we in the same generation. So we can kind of be here together. So I understand that you understand that what you signed up for, what to expect, and I know you can handle it. And of course, if BV champions you, if BV calls you up, there's no question in my mind that you're the right guy for the job. I'm curious to see what changes might be made. I don't know. I don't think the defense will look any different. Don't get me wrong. And then at the same time, I do feel like this is going to be a learning situation for you also, where you have people that have been in this locker room for 5+ years on defense right now that they know this. They know the defense. And don't get me wrong, you know the defense because you're calling the same defense. You've been calling the same defense BV has been calling the whole time. But I feel like it'll be a mano-a-mano type of I teach you, you teach me. We all get better at the end of the day. Still sharpen steel type of deal, So Welcome to the team. Welcome to the squad, Zach Alley. And let's be great, man. We're going into the SEC. We need you to be great. We need them play cards that make sense. We need those boys to be disciplined. We need them to be, to do their job and trust the next man to do their job, you know. So that's all we expect here at Oklahoma. Of course, like I said, we got the toxic fan base that loves you. So you might not hear me calling for your job because I'm not really that type of person that calls for people's jobs. But I can't speak for everybody. I can't speak for everybody. And for my 20 plus years being an Oklahoma Sooner fan, I know how bad it can get. I know how disrespectful it can get. So I just really hope and pray that you got a strong chin, because it's gonna be some slobber knockers getting thrown your way if you mess up one time. The standard here at Oklahoma is crazy. So, but you gotta love it. You gotta love it. It's gonna make you a better coach, and trust me, I believe that you will be a good defensive coordinator to the point to where hopefully you're here for a good amount of time. But I know you're gonna get your next job is gonna be a head coaching job. Let's put it that way. So yeah, man. That's all I got this episode of Operation Offseason, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We over 35 minutes in. Y'all know how I am, man. I like ending this stuff off with positivity, the best I can. And whenever I do end these things off with positivity, I kind of just let it flow. I never write this stuff down when it's not in my handy dandy notebook, my positive message of the day. So sometimes it might be repetitive, sometimes it might be something you heard, but regardless of whatever the case may be, it's something that's coming from the heart, straight from the heart to the microphone to YouTube. So hope y'all can appreciate the positive messages. That's how it's always gonna be. That's how it's always been. Just to give y'all a little insight on where I'm getting this stuff from. Then I guess that also kind of lets you know my mentality for the day, how I feel right now. But yeah, let's start with the positive message of the day, man. It's New Year's. It's a new year. You know the saying, "New Year, new me." Everybody has that New Year's resolution that they hold dearly until February hits, and then it's kind of forgotten. I want you to realize and really understand that when you make that New Year's resolution, 9 times out of 10, you probably didn't think too hard on it. You probably just came up with it the last week of December, before the new year. But regardless of when you thought about it, even if it was something you planned out, you got to realize that that was a time where you looked in the mirror and you really analyzed yourself, held yourself accountable for that moment, that point in time. You held yourself accountable. And you said, this is what I need to do better in my life. This is something that I'm lacking that I need to do better. So guess what? Next year, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to do better. Hence the New Year's resolution. That's what the whole point of it being a resolution is. It's resolving something. Resolving an issue that you picked out. You handpicked this resolution. So the positive message of the day, and we're going to kind of make this a challenge, of the positive challenge of the day. Let's put it that way. I challenge you guys to really stick it out. Really, really stick to that New Year's resolution. Because at the end of the day, it's just going to make you a better person. Nobody pointed out what was wrong with you. Nobody said this is what was wrong. And then, don't get me wrong, there are situations where it might be a group resolution. But regardless, either way it goes, your New Year's resolution is you looking in the mirror saying, I'm not good at this, or I need to do this better. This is something I need to work on. Well, I challenge you to work on that. And not just this month, not just next month. Stay consistent. Be determined. Have that motivation. Keep that motivation. Don't let the year of 2024 distract you from that resolution. Cause we all gotta get better. We all gotta put the time in to get better. And I believe that you can. I believe that you will. You just gotta have that determination. You gotta be consistent. You gotta be disciplined. You gotta have that. These are things that, as adults, you value more than anything. You know, you want consistent work. You know, you want to be able to depend on people. You know, you want to be able to, you want your partner to be disciplined. You don't want them to be, you don't want them to, you want them to hold themselves accountable for certain things. These are things that you want in life. So make sure when you look in the mirror, you see these things also. You know, just like you did with your New Year's resolution when you came up with it. Make sure that this is something that you can continue to do when you look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and say, I'm going to hold myself accountable. Look in the mirror and say, I'm going to be disciplined. Look in the mirror and say, I'm going to be consistent. Because that's the only way that you're going to get better in life, man. That's the only way you're going to do better, and that's the only way you're going to get better. And don't look at me like I got it all figured out. Trust me, don't look at me like I got it all figured out either, because, yeah, these things might be coming from the heart. These things might be coming, flowing straight off the top of the dome. But these are also things I need to work on. I need to be accountable. I need to do better at being disciplined. I need to do better at being more motivated. I need to be more consistent in everything that I do in life. So don't ever think that, whenever I'm giving y'all these positive messages, I'm chastising anybody or talking down on anybody or holding myself higher than anybody. No, I'm looking in the mirror too, talking to myself at the same time. So yeah, when 2025 hit, I expect all of us to be able to look at that New Year's resolution for 2024 and be like, damn, I did it. What we gonna work on next year? And I promise you'll feel better. I promise you'll feel more motivated. You'll be able to. There's nothing you can't do. Especially if you really reach your goal, then you'll be able to look in the mirror and be like, there's nothing else I can't do. There's nothing I can't do. I can do whatever I want. So that's the positive message of the day, man. We over 40 minutes in. Operation Offseason, episode 2. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. And y'all know why we got to keep this stuff out. We got to keep it going, man. And I'm doing it for y'all. I'm doing it for me. I love it. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, I'm not here for the views. I'm not here for the likes. I'm not here for the shares. Even if I tell you to do it, I truly don't care. I'm here to just be me, man. So hopefully y'all can appreciate that. And yeah, I expect the same from y'all. Y'all don't be nobody but yourselves. We're leaders. And you know that. Because it's in our DNA, man. It's in our DNA. Bye. You see that video on the screen right here? Click it. Don't hate now. Hold on. You still listen? I'm wait. Click it. Click the video. You are still here, bro. You are still here. You hating on me? Are you hating on me right now? Click the video. Click the video. You still looking at me, man. All right, bye.